Showed great urgency to get on the football.
So a chance again for the home side. And Soward aims himself towards a hole. Jared Hayne making the tackle with Nathan Hindmarsh. Young turning it back on the inside for Boyd. And the fullback trapping across the ground a little bit. Darius Boyd, he come up without the ball. It's a penalty to the Dragons. 12 metres out. 4 penalties in the game, all to the Dragons.
And they're deciding to kick for goal. So let's have a look here. That's a very, very harsh penalty. Darius Boyd's lost that ball. There's no reason in the world that he should have let that go. That's a nothing.
Well, I'm very surprised that they're going to take the points.
Well, they've got nothing, Peter. They've been down here for 14 and a half, 15 minutes. They've come up empty. I guess if they took the tap and didn't score this time, that's when that frustration kicks in. So that's their thing. I agree with you. I'd tap and go, but
not in that case, no.
They want some points out of all this pressure they've had.
Is it some kind of tribute to the Eels?
Of course it is. And Parramatta will feel good about that they are taking this shot at goal. They've been camped down here. They want them to kick for goal. And to me, from the Dragons, it's almost an admittance that, well, we're struggling to get through. Now, 2-0 at this stage of the game aren't much difference, but 6 is substantial.
So Jamie Soward, that's what he's got in front of him. Not very hard for him.
Well, his teammates are all back the other side of halfway.
And he raises the flag and he puts the ball deep into the terraces over at the school end of the ground. So it's 2-0 in favour of St George Illawarra over Parramatta. Back in a moment. Welcome back. If you've been in a commercial break here in Australia on the Nine Network, this match being beamed to the UK and over to America as well these days. This is Justin Poore, 30 metres away from his own line, down in New Zealand. Hello to you. There's Jeremy Smith bringing it out to the 40-metre line, just a fraction beyond. Jeremy playing the ball for Dean Young, who has been in all the action, and this fellow's contribution early, Wayman, has been very noticeable. Some way to have a 25th birthday, getting bashed up. Now it's with Ben Hornby driving it down. It'll go dead. No, it's sat on the point and came back for Luke Burt. And here comes the veteran winger for Parramatta. He debuted 10 years ago at the Sydney, at the Olympic Stadium, in fact, in front of 100,000 people on a double-header occasion. Now Growth, 22 metres out from his own line. Eric Growth, one of several players whose dad played this game at the top level. Penalty to Parramatta, that's their first. Jared Hayne tackle coming out of his 30-metre zone. Tackle by Ben Creagh, who gave the penalty.
Well, I've been watching the 10 metres very closely on every play today, and you could have penalised either side on every play the ball for the 10 metres. But here we are 20 minutes in, and suddenly we pluck one out of nowhere.
63% of time with the ball has been with the Dragons. This is Moy, who will play the ball on the 40-metre line. Dragons end. Kalis gives it back. Mortimer goes short. Lowry picked up and tackled by Beau Scott. It's one of the features of the Dragons team is the rock-solid defence out in the centres and that second row area. Now Robson thought about it, gave it eventually to Hayne. Hayne went to Reddy. And Reddy is tackled by Hornby. Played on the 20-metre line. Ben Smith, Jared Hayne, Nathan Kalis. And Kalis tries to barge over the 10-metre line. He gets it 7 metres away from the Dragons line. 2-0 in favour of the Dragons. Hayne with a no-look pass. It was heading over the sideline. Growth put a hand on it. But it's change over to the Dragons.
And I think you find that if Eric Growth had gathered that football bouncing on the ground, he'd have crossed in the corner on the outside of Morris. Pass wasn't real forward. Dusty played the ball and he would have scored.
Well, we saw an extraordinary game last night where the Bulldogs dominated the Knights territorially. At the moment, the Dragons have had 18 play the balls inside Parramatta's 20. Parramatta has played the ball just once at the other end of the field. There's 16 to run there by our stats man now. It's extraordinary dominance.
Morris out to his own 40-metre line. Young to the short side, taking Cray with him, but he's taken down by Ben Smith, the number 12 for Parramatta, doing a lot of defending. Now it's Justin Poore taking it up to Parramatta's 40-metre line. 5 tackles gone. And Ben Hornby finds himself a dummy half, and the ball goes high off the boot of Jamie Soward, and Jared Hayne stands his ground. Both Scotters with him in defence, and Hayne will play the ball back on his own 10-metre line. Then from Mortimer, it's gone away for Wright. And Jonathan Wright, who played in that game here last Friday week, plays the ball on his own 10-metre line. Here's Lowry.
And the first interchange of the afternoon made by the Dragons with Dan Hunt out there. Can't be long before Nathan Kalis comes on. In fact, there's Joe Nullavow now hitting the ball up. Imagine Manor will be on for Kalis very shortly. Moi has gone to the sideline. Keating, good run.
It was a good run by Keating, and he's lost the ball. Well, their game has been riddled by mistakes and penalties. Moi off.
That comes with fatigue. Maybe a little bit
always going that way.
Maybe a little sweat on the ball down there today as well, with these hot conditions. And I just get the feeling that Wayne Bennett has said to these Dragons bloke the old saying, if I've got 3 hours to chop down a tree, I'll spend the first 2 hours sharpening the axe, because they're just very methodically controlling the ball, not even looking really for points. Happy if they come, but not panicking if they don't.
There's Matt Cooper. 30 metres out from the Parramatta line, keeping some of your best work for the finals, Gus.
Now give me a chainsaw, I'll have it done in 5 for you. We're going to have a drink for 2 hours and 55.
There's Dan Hunt playing the ball. Hornby to the short side for Cray. And Ben Cray is pulled down and tackled over there by Jeff Robson and by Ben Smith. Now it's come on to Soward. He's in the middle of the ground. He's gone back for Boyd. Boyd gives a short ball away for Bo Scott. And Parramatta sliding in defence with him. And they put him away 15 metres out from the line. So the Dragons again, with Boyd turning it to Soward. Soward to Pryor. And Pryor looking to pop a ball out the back. But he takes the tackle 5, 2 metres out from the Parramatta line. Away from Nathan Fee, onto the boot of Soward. And again the high ball, sun in the eyes. Eric Growth is equal to the task. And he's been taken in touch in goal. Line dropout, Parramatta.
Now, just tell me that Eric Growth wasn't trying to pass this ball, please. He was in an awkward situation, but I've got a sneaking suspicion at the end of it he tried something outlandish to get it back in the field to play, and this could only have ended in disappointment. What would he possibly have been? Oh, rabbits, footballers. Why do they do it? Come on, Eric.
Heart attack stuff. Although with hindsight, he'd taken the corner post with him before he threw the ball, but I doubt that he had that in the equation. Look at these dropouts from Hayne. I mean, he doesn't want to be taking them. It's not the day to be practicing line dropouts, but 2 of his kicks have been just unbelievable. It almost makes you think that breeze is very much a southwesterly.
That's a great result, isn't it, when you kick the football and you make the first tackle 45 metres from your line.
Dan Hunt is with the ball, taken by Hindmarsh and Nullavow. Here's Fee doing it to Justin Poore. And a good tackle by Matthew Keating. They're at the 20-metre line, though, the Dragons. They keep going on with the attack. Hornby to Boyd. A ball over the top for Brett Morris, and they put him away. Put him over the sideline at the southeastern end.
And a distinct increase in the Dragons' speed of play there once Nathan Feen came into the game. Again, they go left with that pet play that produced a couple of tries last Friday night. But Parramatta Eels have repelled them once more. Here it is, second man play. Boyd gets a cutout pass. Growth was in a world of trouble there, but Reddy filed around the back and was able to get across with Robinson to make the tackle. Growth came in and the players on the inside went out and they got Morris over the sideline.
There's Eric Growth coming away with the ball. We'll go down to the sideline. A comment from Joey Johns.
Yeah, St George, they're attacking on the fringes, and you see there that they got around the Parramatta side, but Parramatta are quite athletic defensively. I think they look best when they get to the middle and work around the dummy half. I know with Nathan Feen on now, he gets them a few more options around the ruck.
That wasn't knocked on by Joe Nullavow. He caught it before it hit the ground. He's picked up and dumped on the ground right on the 30-metre line. The Dragons faithful, they thought he knocked on. It's gone from Keating and gone to Robson. Robson on to Smith, and Ben Smith will play the ball just outside the 40-metre line. And that's a resilient run there by Ben Smith. Robson turning it in now for Parramatta's Tim Manor. And Manor will play the ball down on the Dragons' 40-metre line. 5 tackles gone for the blue and golds. Protect Parramatta Eels. The kick from Hayne. The chase is big from Mortimer. He got the ball there. He's put the ball down to Burt. Burt will score for Parramatta. Luke Burt scores his 99th try. Oh, good. Mortimer took off like a startled rabbit. He was there for the ball, then the bat down. Brilliant play by Mortimer and great support by Luke Burt.
Wonderful energy and enthusiasm from young Daniel Mortimer. Got in a position to catch this. Jared Hayne put it up, and Mortimer led the chase. Flew high, got off the ground, was the only one competing for the football, and a touch lucky to get it back to Luke Burt. Now just one shy of 100.
And welcome back to Cogra as you see Luke Burt convert his 99th career try. 1,300 odd points for Luke Burt, the Parramatta winger.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? The Dragons have done all the tackling and Parramatta come up with the first try. Watch Wendell Saylor here. Wendell Saylor made a distinct decision not to contest the ball. He waited for Mortimer to catch it, and the juggle was as good as a pass for Burt to score. Now we test the nerve of the Dragons, who have been ultra-conservative. They've been dominant and find themselves behind on the scoreboard.
So Jeff Robson, just a little problem in goal. Jared Hayne on the end of the second pass after Nullivar got involved. Here is Joe taking it out to the 10-metre line as he strains and gets it to that point before playing the ball, and Mortimer goes quickly to Lowry. Lowry goes to right, and right is held by Soward.
Manly fans feeling a little nauseous at the moment.
This man has been very good for Parramatta. Todd Lowry, I'll be honest with you, I didn't think he could play this good, but my goodness, his form has been quite outstanding in the back half of this competition. And Saylor is close to the line. He knew he was. Now he puts on a big torpedo pass from the sideline. It finds Darius Boyd in the middle of the ground, and Robson is with the fullback, and Ben Smith combines with him to put him down. Down on the Dragons' 40-metre line, and many of the Dragons are still getting back into an attacking formation. Morris will play the ball short of the halfway to the tune of a couple of metres. Now Saylor puts himself into the game. Just outside the 40-metre line. Wendell Saylor to play the ball. TAB Sportsbet, Dragons out to $1.60. Parramatta into $2.30 after they started the game at $3.15. You can bet in running. 1-3-3-3-9-0 is the number. Here is Justin Paul. 22 metres out. Tackle number 5. Nathan Feen at dummy half for Soward, and he goes to the left of the ground and kicks it over to the right, and Burt gets a nice kick straight down his throat, really, and now he goes dodging his way out towards the 20. He picks up Jared Hayne. He got rid of one. He puts his foot on the accelerator. They're chasing. Darius Boyd's after Hayne. Hayne's still going. He's away from Boyd. Now he's taken by Morris. Brilliant run by Hayne. Great work by Luke Burt coming out of the red zone. Ready, floats it over to Mortimer. Mortimer on now to Robson. Robson gets it on to Hindmarsh. Hindmarsh has got right outside him. Throws a couple of dummies and takes the tackle. Hindmarsh there. 9 metres out from the line. Play back to right. It's gone to Robson. It's an inside ball for Nullivar. Nullivar will play it right in front of the northern uprights, 10 metres out. It's over to Robson. Robson gets it on. Ben Smith is with the ball. And the fourth tackle is with Parramatta. Brilliant run by Jared Hayne. Keating for Mortimer. He dummies. He's out of the tackle. He's over. Mortimer scores for Parramatta. Second try of the day.